Good morning, students. We are going to have our next class of this particular chapter, Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Children. I hope that you are aware about the writer as well as the theme also, but still I am going to revise the theme. Theme is very simple. The plight of street children who are forced into labor or who are forced into to do work early in the life, and these children are denied the opportunity of schooling, as well as the story exposes the callousness of society and the political class, because the society and political class are the regions of the suffering of the poor. So this is on this particular theme the story has been written. In our previous class we have already studied about thinking of Mukesh, and at the same time what is the desire of Mukesh and many other things. There was introduction of Mukesh, his family members, everything. But today we are going to begin with this particular point: why Firozabad popular? Okay, why Firozabad popular or famous? So here you may start from there. Okay, so it says that Firozabad is famous for its bangles. It has taken the form of, bangle making has taken the form of a cottage industry. It means every house or the members of the every house are engaged in, every other family is engaged in making bangles. Firozabad is the center of India's glass blowing industry. You can find bangles everywhere. Bangles are in the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. We can see spirals of bangles. Here spirals means coils, okay, like the spring. So the bangles are arranged in the spiral form. If you go to any churi market, and once you open the box of a particular bangle box, then you find that it has been settled in a coil form. So it is a spirals of bangles. We can see spirals of bangles of different color. Sunny gold, it means gold like the sun early in the morning. Paddy green means it is a green color having green plant. Royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow. It means you will get diverse color. You will get bangles of diverse color, the colors which are available from the mixture of these 7 colors of the rainbow. or all these colors are really exotic one, beautiful one. Bangles lie in mounds in. So here the first word is mound. Mound means heap, dher. Unkept. Unkept means messy. These are scattered here and there. Sometimes you find it difficult to pass through those yards because the bangles are lying here and there in a very haphazard manner. So mounds in unkept yards, okay, they are piled on, not only there, they are piled on four-wheeled hand carts, and these are being carried or pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. So here we have a word, shanty town. Shanty town means the town, okay, which appeared very poor. It means once you look from the outside to the town, then you find that it appear very poor one. So that town is known as the shanty town. So the narrator used that, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. And boys and girls, now here this is the most important point for us. Boys and girls with their fathers and mothers are welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. It means it is like a family affair where not only the parents as well as the children, they all are working together in that glass industry. It means child labor is prevalent there. The narrator wants to describe about that one. What is the working condition? Here is the working condition. They are working in dark hutments. They are working in dark hutments, it means dark hut-like houses, next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps. Flickering oil lamps, it means the flames are on and off. It appears that sometime on and off. It means there is a brightness or the less brightness, and so there is a flickering. So they are working in dark hutments next to the lines of the flames. It means there is a lines of flames. These flames are flickering because all these are the oil lamps. So there is a line of the oil lamps. For example, if there are 7 members, the 7 lines of the oil lamps, and the flames are flickering. They all are sitting in their huts that is completely dark and full of the dirt, and there they all are working. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. Yes, they are working in that dark house or cell-like huts, and they are working in front of those oil lamps which are flickering one, and they are doing it the whole day without any sun rays, the air. And so the narrator say that their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. Some of them often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. So this is the risk. This is the, okay. So there is hazards working in the bangle industry, especially for the children. So the narrator has used about all these things. Okay. So now you may go through this one. The line has been mentioned here. You read it. Okay. Now we are moving further, and here the narrator or the author has discussed about a girl, that is a young girl Sabita. Okay. Anish Jung describes a young girl Sabita. Sabita is soldering the pieces of glass there. So at first we come to the some words. The first word is drab, that is dull. Sabita is in a drab pink dress. Her dress is pink color, but it is not bright one, but it is dull one. Sit alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass. Soldering is a process. Through this we join the 2 points of the rounded glass, so bonding the pieces of glass, and her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine, hands of a machine. The narrator wonders if she knows the sanctity of the bangles. Sanctity means sacredness. Okay, it means she is helping others to prepare those bangles, but she is not aware about the sacredness of the bangles. Why? Because the bangle symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspiciousness in the marriage. It means for the Indian women, for a married woman, bangle wearing is very important because it is related to her husband. The life and the well-being of the women husband, and so auspiciousness, purity in marriage. Narrator hopes that it will dawn on her, it means she begin to understand the importance of bangles when her head is draped with a red veil. So here draped means covered, red veil means ghungat, a cloth which is used to cover the face of a woman or a bride. So it say that draped with a red veil, it means covered with the red color clothing. Her hands dyed red. Here it dye means coloring. Her hands dyed red with henna. Henna means mehdi. I have already written the Hindi word. And red bangles rolled onto her wrist. She will then become a bride. So the narrator has given the picture of an Indian bride, that Sabita is going to be a bride. Then what are the changes? So the narrator has described the changes to the life of Sabita. It means Sabita is going to be a bride, and there are many changes which will take place in her life. It has been described. So one day she will also become a bride with her head draped with a red veil, hands dyed red with mehdi, henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist. So this is the picture of Savita once she turned into a bride one. Okay, but the narrator is interested to tell us about one more important thing. And what is that? Savita is the past of an elderly woman who is working with her. You will find that in the beginning lines, Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman. So the narrator is trying to compare. Narrator is trying to describe the past of that elderly woman or future of Savita, okay, with the help of this correlation. Savita is the past of an elderly woman who is working with her. You go through this one. Savita is the past of an elderly woman who is working with her. The women, like Savita, dream to be a bride. We have the description of the bride, very beautiful, exotic one, colorful, with dreams in eyes. And so the women like Savita dream to be a bride, and even there was a marriage. But now she is old one. But what happened to that woman? Although she had bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. Why? So this light describes the two important things. The first, the physical light. The light which has been out of her eyes due to working in that dark hut in front of the oil lamp flames. But above all, it has symbolic meaning that she has no hope. It means she is hopeless. And she is poverty stricken. She didn't enjoy even one meal in her entire lifetime. Yes. Will Savita repeat the same story? It means Savita is also going to the path of that elderly woman. It means Savita is going to be turned to that elderly woman's fate. The author is concerned about her future, and so the author has discussed about that one. So here I have mentioned Savita. Will Savita repeat the same story? The author is concerned about her fate. Moving further. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. I have separated the line. So at first I am going to read out the underlined part. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, rings in every home. They complain of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles. present in every home. Every family is complaining that I don't have enough money even to carry on the business properly. And the remaining line is not enough to eat. So the narrator say that anyhow they are carrying their business of making bangles, but they are suffering from hunger because they don't have enough to eat. And this is the complaint of the every family. They are unable to fulfill the demands of the business and family. Demand of the business, capital, and the demand of the family, food, education, and other amenities. It's quite impossible to maintain a balance. The young men are moving like a boat without rudder. Even young man has no any idea. So the narrator says, nothing changed with time in Firozabad. Little has moved with time. They are unable to take any initiative. Yes. Why they are unable to take any initiative? Because there is a mind-numbing toil. They are working so hard, then their mind turn unconscious one. The mind is not any condition to think any further due to the hard labor, and it happened for the years. So the narrator say that they can solve this problem, but the problem is that they are unable to take any initiative and they don't have the ability to dream. And this is due to that the young men are moving like a boat without rudder. They are moving anyway. Nothing has changed there. Then you will raise another question. And what is that question? The question is that we are coming to that question here. I asked a group of the young men who have fallen into the vicious, wicked circle of middlemen who trapped, cheated their fathers and forefathers. So the narrator say that why not organize themselves into a cooperative? This is the question. The narrator say that the young men of the Firozabad have fallen into the wicked hands of the wicked circle of the middleman, and they not only cheating them, but they also cheated their fathers and forefathers. So the question is that if you are aware about it, why don't you organize yourself into a cooperative? Here is the answer. What is the answer here? The answer is first hauled up, dragged, pulled by force. So here is the answer. They can't organize themselves into a cooperative. Problem is, they will be hauled up, dragged by the police, beaten and pulled up forcibly to jail for doing something illegal. It means they have a fear of the police. They have the fear to be sent to the jail. Middlemen exploit them. So they need a leader who may help them with his vision and ideology. Otherwise, their fathers are as tired as they are. They are as tired as their fathers, and they talk endlessly like the spiral of bangles. It means their talk is completely circular one, and you know that there is no end of the circle. You have to run to the periphery of the circle. So they talk endlessly like the spiral of bangles. Their life is encircled or surrounded by the four important issues or the pillars. So, what are these? Yeah. So, the narrator says that their life is encircled by four issues, four pillars, and these four pillars are poverty, apathy, greed, and injustice. Pillar is for good thing, but here pillar means hurdles. They are surrounded by these problems, and so they talk endlessly like the spiral of bangles, and they always covered and encircled among all these problems, the poverty, apathy, greed, and injustice. So here is another. So what is the point? The next point is that here I see two distinct worlds. This is most important point. There are two clear worlds. There are two clear worlds. Okay? And so, what are these two clear worlds? Narrator says, there are two distinct worlds. The first, caught in a wave of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste. Stigma means mark of disgrace in which they are born. So the two distinct world. The first world is the family which is caught in a wave of poverty as well as burdened by the stigma of caste. And what is the next? The next is, here is the next. I have already made a polygon. The other a vicious circle, a wicked circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. So, what is the next world? The next is the world which is surrounded by a vicious circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. And together they fleece them, together they rob them. And so the narrator say that I clearly find that there are two distinct worlds. One regarding the family, and the second, what are the things encircling them. So here is the point. Together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. Together they pressed upon. They have increased the difficulties to the children. Because they are not aware. So here we are talking about the awareness. We are talking about the knowledge. We are talking about the education. Education and knowledge may create awareness, and if you are aware, then we have, okay, then in that condition we get the lesson of daring. To dare means हिम्मत करना, किसी को चैलेंज करने का ताकत रखना, तो that is the daring. He accepts them due to the lack of the awareness and knowledge. It means these children are burdened together by those sahukars, middlemen, etc. What is the reason? The reason is that they are not aware, they don't have the knowledge. Okay, why? Because they were not taught the lesson of daring. Because the challenge anything means daring. If you are going to challenge anyone, it means you try to dare it, and for daring you need education, knowledge and awareness. So the narrator says that. But there is some change also. We have already here in this point. You go through this one. As naturally as his father, to do anything else would mean to dare. Dare means challenge. And daring is not part of his growing up. Yes, he was not taught the lesson of daring. But to challenge anything means daring. Now, Ani's young senses a flash of daring which cheered her. Yes. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. It is the time of the happiness for the author because she senses a flash of daring, dazzle of light. Flash means dazzle of the light, brightness of the light. And so she senses the brightness of the light, okay, of daring. It means daring is just like a dazzle of light. It is like a light. Okay, and so it cheered her. And now it has been the line of the Mukesh. I want to be a motor mechanic. He repeats. He again says, it means, okay, it means Mukesh chooses to break the God-given lenience. Mukesh tries to create his own path. The path which will deviate from his ancestors' poverty and injustice to their forefathers and the fathers. His eyes are full of hope. He wants to be a motor mechanic. Here it is right. He will go to a garage and learn. But the garage is long way from his home. Then he says that I will walk. It means he is ready to work hard. He insists. Okay. Do you also dream of flying? Here come to the point. His eyes are full of hope. He wants to be a motor mechanic. He dreams of cars instead of flying planes. Author asks, do you also dream of flying a plane? Okay. He suddenly turns silent. No. He says, staring at the ground, looking intently to the ground. Ground is the reality. Okay. He dreams of cars instead of flying planes. Why? cars move down the streets of his town Firozabad. No planes fly over the sky of Firozabad. It means a dream needs the land of the reality, and he is aware about his reality. He is aware about his limitations. So he has no dream of flying planes. A dream needs the land of reality. It has been mentioned. And so finally we can say that this is our final line. Finally we can say that he dreams of cars instead of flying planes. Cars move down the streets of his town. No planes fly over the sky of Firozabad. The final line, a dream needs the land of reality. We learned the new lesson today. The lesson, a dream comes true, and it is truly a new dream. But for that, Mukesh has to work hard. Above all, he has to dare to come out of his old age profession, of his family, because this is the only way through which probably he may change the fate of his family members also. So it was really good for important for us. It conveys many good lessons, and at the same time we try to understand that what is the difference between the attitude of Mukesh as well as Sahib. Thank you. Okay, all the best.